What is up, Knights of Vex, and happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you all. Very big day in the Star Wars universe for every Star Wars fan around the globe, the community of Galaxy of Heroes, and the Knights of Vex. Just want to say we are all here because we have a love for Star Wars. So I just want to give a special shout out to this day because I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. Star Wars is life for me. I absolutely loved it ever since I was a kid. So it really feels good to have days like this to celebrate. And also tomorrow is Revenge of the 5th. So got to throw a little bit of respect for the dark side character. So big day, awesome rewards in Galaxy of Heroes for the community, but also almost the end of the era for Andor. So today, I want to talk about a proper modding and Omicron order guide, as well as team comp for all of these new characters coming to the game, turning from era units to legacy. So they're going to be in our rosters to be used in Grand Arena, TW, TB, you name it. So, and the good thing about this is that these characters might be more usable now, since we're getting a free level 85 for anyone that went to 4-star or 5-star. They're not going to be at relics with their Zetas, so that's extremely helpful. Big shout out to CG for their little oopsie was fixed. So we now have to have a discussion on how to mod these characters, the Omicron priority, the team comp, all of it. We're going to go over all of it today. So I've created a bunch of PowerPoint slides over each and every detail. I will most likely post pictures of these in my Discord. So if you guys aren't in my Discord, go ahead and join it, not only for these infographics, but for also really good knowledge about different game modes like Grand Arena, TB, TW, Conquest. I have a bunch of Conquest guides. Really good resource with a lot of high-end players. Highly recommend you check it out. That'll be in my Discord. In the comment section, the Discord link will be in there in the description down below is what I'm trying to say. But also, before I get into it, guys, if you guys are new here, I want to show a little bit of a screenshot on the screen going over my analytics for my channel. So I have noticed that 61% of you, I have a screenshot right over here, 61% of you are not subscribed, but you are watching the content. We have a goal for the channel that we want to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of April. We're a little bit past that, so the new goal is going to be before my birthday, May 16th. If you guys are not subscribed, but you are watching, I highly recommend you hit the subscribe button because you will be notified for each and every one of my videos. That's very helpful for early, mid, and end game players. And also, you're going to be in the running for some giveaways, big giveaways, and with some early Vexatron merch, a Google Play card, a iTunes card, all for you guys for a chance to win. So if you guys want to support me with that journey, I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that subscribe button. So with all that said, let's get into the fun part while we're all here. The PowerPoint for the new era of Andor. So as you can see, these are the 6 characters coming to the game. Now, first things first, this is all preliminary. I just want to make that known. This is from me analyzing the kits, looking at the different team comps, and all the different things. That this is preliminary. This could change over time. This is going to be my initial guide, which I think is going to be really good for the majority of the future. So, starting first, team comp. We got to figure out what team comp we're going to use. So, going right into it, pretty simple. There's not going to be that much to go into for it. There's not a lot of flexibility. If you have all the Marki characters and you have Cassian unlocked, they're all going to slot into the 5v5 team with Cassian lead, and Luthen Rail, who is a Conquest character, is going to be the perfect 5th spot for the team. Now, if you guys don't have Luthen unlocked, hopefully the team can still perform, if not as good, a little bit under than with the Luthen squad. So I'm going to be recommending the top is going to be the best team you could set with the new Rebel Fighter Marquis. Cassian, Luthen, Kleya, Cinta, Vel, that's the team. If you don't have Luthen, I suggest replacing Luthen with Kyle Katarn because he has a lot of synergy with Rebel Fighters. Yes, he's very good with the Saw team. The Saw team is kind of getting neutered now unless it's in 3v3, so that's a whole nother topic, but Kyle Katarn is going to be an excellent 5th option for your Cassian team because he does a lot of damage, gives a lot of benefits to Rebel Fighters, and I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to perform. So don't worry if you don't have Luthen. Kyle Katarn is going to be a perfect 5th spot. Now for the 3v3, I think this is going to be the clear winners unless we figure out maybe we can't split up the team in 3v3 and you have to make one super team. But for now, I'm thinking it's going to be Cassian, Vel, and Cinta, and the secondary team is going to be Saw, Luthen, and Kleya because you got to keep Kleya with Luthen. They have crazy synergy with evasion. They can't be targeted. She can revive and give some crazy buffs. So Kleya has to be with Luthen, and I think that's going to be really good with the Axis bonus with her Omicron you're going to see later on. So that's going to be the split for 3v3. Now, for 5v5, for the new ISB, it's pretty locked in what it's going to be. Major Partagaz, Dedra, the KX security droid, we have Krennic, and the probe droid. That's going to be the full-blown team. There's not a lot of flexibility with it at the moment. That's the staple of the team. And for 3v3, I'm thinking that it's going to be, obviously, Major Partagaz lead. He has an Omicron. We have Dedra as well because she has an Omicron, and KX security droid because of the synergy. Now, I was thinking about putting Krennic, but Krennic can only spawn his Death Trooper if the full team is of 5, not 3. You need 5 ISB allies to spawn a Death Trooper, so his decoy or spawn is not going to work in 3v3. So that's why I'm recommending KX security droid. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about is the team comps. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. Now, moving on into the modding, and I'm going to explain everything as I go along, and I'm going to be posting a little bit of snippets of Swoga.gg about their stats. Do me a favor. You're going to see it here. Look up on Swoga.gg the fastest characters in the game, and you're going to see a bunch of Galactic Legends. Right under Galactic Legends, you're going to see Kleya Marki. She has a base speed of 211. She is the fastest non-Galactic Legend character in this game. 211 base speed. That is nuts. The second fastest is Stap, who's at 208. And the character is not doing anything special for Grievous. So she's going to be doing great things for a Cassian Luthen Saw team because of the craziness in her kit. What I'm recommending for her is going to be a speed set with health as a secondary set. Typically, the community has a lot of health secondaries, and crit chance is not really needed because her basic guarantees a critical hit. She does pretty good damage in the Coliseum boss. So I'm recommending for her, you go more for a damage route with the speed. So crit damage on the triangle, offense on the cross, and a health circle. I think for the most part, you're going to mod a lot of these characters for health on the circle and everywhere else because of a couple reasons. Cassian has an Omicron which is increasing their max health every time he does a certain ability, as well as protection up. There's a certain character you're going to see later on grants protection up to your team. That's usually scaled off of max health. So more max health means more protection up, which is going to be very good. I think she's going to be a massive damage dealer. So in her basic ability, you're not going to see it on here, but if she has a chance, if they're to get a guaranteed crit, she's going to be dealing 150% extra critical damage against undermined enemies. If all allies are rebel fighters, this attack will always critically hit. So it's a guaranteed crit. That's why you don't really need crit chance. Crit damage on the triangle with a plus 150% crit damage on a basic is crazy against undermined enemies. So that's really important. Now, she's going to be granting undermine. She's going to be, if she goes first, she has the chance to remove turn meter from undermined enemies, as well as increasing their cooldown. So going first is really nice. And she's going to have great synergy with Cassian with his VIP, because if she goes over and over and over, she's going to be doing great things. So I'm going a little bit too much in detail of her kit without Cassian. I'm going to do a separate video for Cassian tomorrow, so you're going to see all of that in a separate video. But TLDR, you want her to be the fastest, 370 speed or higher, I think is going to be a good benchmark for her. She's also got crazy turn meter gain, so she's going to be going and going and going. So she's going to be a no-brainer for speed, in my personal opinion. Moving on to the next marquee character, Cinta Kaz. She is labeled as an attacker, and the reason why I'm recommending offense and potency is specifically because she attacks at a turn with extra damage. She's practically going to be ramping up her critical damage when she's assisting. The reason why I'm recommending potency is because she has special synergy when she's able to land her debuff. So if she is able to inflict a breach, if she targets the same enemy with that turn with the same ability, she can inflict ability block. If they are ability blocked and she uses the ability again, she inflicts death mark. Now, if Cassian's lead, they're gaining 100% extra potency, which is nice. But you want to make sure you can guarantee landing those big potency debuffs. So, offense set, crit damage triangle, offense cross, health circle, keep it with the damage. But I think with a potency secondary set, you're going to have enough potency to land those debuffs. But it is nice. And I do think she's going to be a good damage dealer because over here it says whenever Cinta attacks at a turn while stealth, her attacks have 100% crit chance and 50% crit damage and defense pen. So those right there look like heavy damage numbers and big boosts. So that's why I'm going more for a damage route. Obviously, the faster she goes, the better. So I'm going to recommend at the minimum 300 speed. If you can go faster, really good. But I think a good baseline is 300. Obviously, more fast is better. Always, always, always. Sometimes it's just hard to hit those benchmarks. So I do think I'm a big fan of her. She also goes under stealth a lot, which is a good candidate for VIP with Cassian because they're not going to be able to hit her. So Kleya and Cinta are going to be really big for VIP with Cassian later on. And I'll explain that either in this video or the one tomorrow. But Cinta, no brainer. I think offense is the way to go with some potency. Next up is going to be Vel Sartha. And what I'm recommending for her is full-blown defense because she is going to be your tank. She's labeled as a support character, but she's gaining resilient defense. And she's going to be tanking most of these hits. So you want her to survive. And what I'm recommending for her is going to be, again, full health on her entire primaries besides her arrow. You do want her to be a little bit fast. So the health is based off of, obviously, the protection up that she's granting, as well as Cassian's unlimited max health ramping. And you don't have to worry about anything with, like, drain life or max health damage effects, because with Cassian's Omicron lead, they're immune to all of that percent max health damage. So, again, I think 280 speed is going to be good for her, because you do want her to be fast, but you do want her to survive. She's going to be tanking all these hits. She gets a lot of resilient defense. The team is giving her a lot of tenacity anyway, so I think she's going to be very tenacious. But defense is going to be the way to go. She's going to be a tank, all health primaries, and I think you're going to be in really good shape. 280 speed. Now, next up, Dedra Meero. She's interesting. She is going to be interesting because she is labeled as a support character, but she has crazy ramping crit damage and crit chance with her second ability. So you want her fast because the more she goes, obviously the better. And she's labeled as a support character. So I'm recommending pretty much very similar to Kleya Marki. Crit damage on the triangle, offense on the cross because she could be a big damage dealer. But you want her kind of fast. So she has a base speed of 177. So I think a 330 or higher is going to be really good for her. She's also gaining 30 additional speed from Major Partagaz's lead. She has an Omicron to her. She has really good damage potential. I was thinking about doing potency on her, but she has one ability that has expose. She really has good synergy against enemies that start with expose on their turn. So you'll probably have to get it with her on a previous turn or with other allies. But I think the way to go for her is speed and try to go for a 330 or higher. Now, next up, Major Partagaz, who's going to be the leader for the ISB. He's very interesting. You want him to be fast. The problem with him is he has a base speed of 144. That is trash. Pretty trash in terms of speed. The positive is, as I showed in the bottom right, he's gaining 80 speed from his leadership and his Omicron on his lead. Because he gains 30 from his lead and then 50 from his Omicron. So he's practically take 144 plus 80. You're going to be really fast. So prior to the lead and Omicron kicking in, try to go for the 300 speed on him. Obviously, it's not going to be as fast as Dedra, but he will go first. Without a doubt. He's going to be first. So if you could do that, he's going to outspeed a lot of teams. Because 380 speed is a lot. And what I'm recommending for him is potency. Full-on potency with speed set because he is constantly applying debuffs. Especially when he's at rank 2 and 3. He's going to be doing daze, heal down, a bunch of target lock and stuff like that. You want him to be able to land his buffs or his debuffs. He can't be targeted. He doesn't have any damaging abilities. He's just calling people to assist. He's a full-on support character. So you want him to be really fast and want him to be able to land debuffs. So potency on the cross, health on the triangle, health on the circle. You want him to be able to survive. Not a damage dealer. I think that's going to be your way to go. So speed set with a potency secondary set. Now, next up, KX Security Droid. This one was interesting. I had to go really deep into the kit to understand. Again, he is a tank. I am recommending full-blown defense because there is an ability of his where he does the really cool kick. He gets offense based off of 200% of his defense. You have defense modding, he's going to be gaining a load of offense. So I think that's the way to go. The reason why I'm recommending health all around is because he deals true damage based off of his health on his basic. So his basic deals damage based off his max health. 10% of his max health. The more max health he has, the better. And if you look at his unique, he's gaining more max health per, I think, ISB ally. 15% max health for each ISB ally until the end of battle. So he's going to be very healthy. And with his Omicron on TW, he's gaining even more max health. So that's going to be even more damage. So he's going to be doing really good stuff as a tank High damage, I think he's going to be impressive. Don't think he needs to be the overall fastest character. I think 260 speed is going to be great because he has a lot of counter chance. He has a lot of assisting from his other allies. So don't worry about making him too fast. He's going to be absolutely fine. So that's going to be the modding for all the characters. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be the Omicrons. I have a whole Omicron order for you that we're going to show at the end, but we're going to go into detail to show each character's Omicron so you understand what we're working with. So the first one we're going to talk about is Kleya Marki's unique Omicron. I don't have lately, I have always. This is specifically a 3v3 Omicron for Grand Arena. At the start of the battle, if there are no Galactic Legend allies and the ally in the leader slot is Saw Gerrera or Mon Mothma, Kleya gains bonuses based on the leader. If the leader is Saw Gerrera, Kleya gains Axis. If the leader is Mon Mothma, Kleya gains Curator until the end of the encounter. Very similar to how Luthen works with the Saw lead. If Luthen Rail is an ally, Kleya can't be defeated until his health is reduced to 25% or less. The first time Luthen Rail's health is reduced to 25% or less, Kleya resets the cooldown of This Is Do or Die, which is pretty cool. Now, the bonuses she gets from Axis is whenever Kleya uses I Know What I Want, inflict buff immunity on target enemy for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled. All allies gain evasion up for 2 turns. So that's going to be pretty annoying not being able to hit them. The Curator one is pretty crazy. Whenever Kleya uses This Is Do or Die, rally Mon Mothma and all Rebel Fighter allies. All allies gain critical damage up for 2 turns. Mon Mothma and all other Rebel Fighter allies gain 30% offense, stacking, and are immune to turn meter reduction for 2 turns. If an ally already has Keen Stratagem, gain Keen Stratagem to all other Rebel Fighters allies until the end of the encounter. So, maybe we see some synergy with Mon Mothma. I didn't really recommend it in the beginning of Team Comp because Mon Mothma hasn't been used in a while. Maybe this turns her into a powerhouse in 3v3. I don't think it's going to stop Traya from taking it out on defense or anything like that. So I think that's why Saul's going to be better. But very interesting. There could be some potential there. Do like this Omicron quite a bit. The problem is it's only for 3v3. It's not for every single game mode. But at least it opens up having your pre-existing Saw Omicron in use with this. You can have 2 Omicrons on one team with Saw, Luthen, and technically more with Luthen, but you guys get the idea. I think this is going to be good for that team I recommended. Now, next up, this is going to be a unique Omicron for Cinta, and this is for Territory War. It's called Blooded Fearless Warrior, and this is going to be very good for a Cassian team. At the start of battle, Cinta stealths for 1 turn. Cinta has 100% defense and max health. Whenever enemies damage Cinta while she is stealth, they are undermined for 1 turn. If they are already undermined, inflict healing immunity for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled or resisted. Rebel Fighter allies have 100% defense penetration while attacking enemies affected by Cinta's debuffs from fight to the death. Whenever a death-marked enemy is defeated, all Rebel Fighter allies recover 100% health and protection, gain 10 speed stacking, a max of 50, and Cinta gains 100% crit damage for the rest of battle. So that's why the crit damage and offensive bonding is very good for her. Rebel Fighter allies gain 10% offense stacking for each undermined enemy. If all enemies are undermined, Rebel Fighter allies are immune to instant defeat and max health reduction effects. So that's pretty strong. You're getting a built-in instant defeat if they're all undermined. Whenever an enemy uses a special ability, Cinta gains 15% turn meter doubled if the enemy is undermined. So that's going to have really good synergy with VIP with Cassian. Whenever a Rebel Fighter ally loses VIP, dispel all debuffs from all Rebel Fighter allies and grant all Rebel Fighter allies 25% turn meter. So this is a pretty strong TW Omicron. I don't know if it's going to be, top level of taking out certain Galactic Legends like Ahsoka with, all the Omicrons with Sabine and Hera, but this has potential to do some pretty powerful things. So I'm going to say it's overall pretty good, and we're going to have to see how it plays out. But it's a TW one. It's not a Grand Arena. Next up, this is one I didn't even want to list, but we have to because she's a marquee character. It's for Territory Battle. I don't recommend applying Territory Battle Omicrons. I personally don't think they're worth it, but if you guys enjoy Territory Battle, be my guest. It's a unique Omicron called Blooded Fearless Warrior. Or did I forget to change it? It might be called something different. That's my fault. I think it's called something different. But the way it reads is all Rebel Fighter allies gain 100% max health, offense, and max protection until the end of battle. Whenever Vel gains a stack of Resilient Defense, all Rebel Fighter allies gain 50% offense, stacking until the start of Vel's next turn. Whenever a Rebel Fighter ally defeats an enemy, all Rebel Fighter allies recover 25% health and protection and gain damage immunity for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Whenever a Rebel Fighter ally defeats an undermined enemy, all other enemies become undermined for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. So, I'm pretty sure there's a Rebel Fighter mission and territory battle. This will probably make it an absolute cakewalk, but do I think it's essential? Absolutely not. I've been playing this game for 10 years, and there's only one TB Omicron I have, and it's for Cal Kestis that makes sure I can get that that win done. And I think I just got a follow on Twitch mid-video, so thank you to whoever that was. Appreciate it. Mid-video, we got an alert. It's my alert box, guys. Next up, we got to talk about Dedra Meero, and this is going to be a Grand Arena Omicron for 3v3. It's called Systems Either Change or Die. While in 3v3 Grand Arenas, at the start of battle, Dedra exposes all enemies for 2 turns and gains 30% max health. While ISB allies are undermined, they have 80% offense and defense. When ISB allies gain undermine, they are already below 50% health or drop below 50% health limit once per undermine. They gain protection up and tenacity up 20% until they are no longer undermined. Whenever Dedra undermines an ISB ally below 50% health, she gains potency up for 2 turns. So the one thing I like about this is obviously the extra health and offense, as well as them starting with exposed for 2 turns. That's going to have crazy good synergy with her abilities, as well as Major Partagaz. So I know it's only for 3v3, but it's still a powerful one to have. It probably makes them a little bit more powerful than normal. So I think this one's going to be pretty good. Pretty good. Now, next up, Leadership Omicron for Major Partagaz. It's Calibrate Your Enthusiasm. This is for 5v5 and 3v3. Now I'm going to read the whole leadership as well as the Grand Arena Omicron because I want you guys to have an understanding of it. At the start of battle, Major Partagaz inflicts potency down and speed down on all enemies for 2 turns. That's minus 25% speed, I believe. ISP allies gain 50% bonus protection, 30 speed, and ISP allies that are rank 3 ignore taunt effects on their turn until the end of battle. At the start of their turn, ISP allies have 25% crit chance, defense, and tenacity if they are rank 1. These bonuses are doubled if they are rank 2 and quadrupled if they are rank 3. That's pretty good. Whenever an enemy recovers protection, all ISP allies gain 5% offense stacking until the end of the battle. Absolutely no cap to that. ISP allies deal 5% more damage when targeting a target-locked enemy and recover 5% health protection. ISP allies inflict speed down for 2 turns whenever they attack out of turn. Really good stuff. Now the Omicron is for, again, both game modes. While in Grand Arena and all allies are ISP, Major Partagaz starts the battle at rank 3 and gains 50 speed. Whenever an ISP support gains Retaliate, they also gain 20% bonus protection for 1 turn, and whenever an ISP ally is damaged, Major Partagaz gains 15% turn meter. The first time each ally falls below 30% health, they recover 30% health and protection. ISP support allies stealth for 1 turn, and ISP tank allies taunt for 1 turn. So this is a pretty strong ability. Now, the rank 3 does crazy good things for him. He's able to ignore taunt. He can increase cooldowns. You can give them a tactical supremacy for 2 turns. His basic will allow him to daze. There are so many good things when he is rank 3. And when you have the Omicron on, he's going to start at rank 3. So if he goes first, so you have him modded fast, he gains plus 80 speed. You're able to outspeed certain team comps. It's going to be pretty strong. So I think this one is something you got to keep on your radar. You have your ISP up and running. This seems to be very, very powerful. So I do want you guys to keep a note of it. Now, next up, the last one. Unique Omicron for KX Security Droid called Controlled Operation. This is a TW Omicron. While in TW, and if all allies are ISB, at the start of battle, KX gains Retribution for 1 turn, Taunts for 3 turns, and Immunity to Daze. All allies have plus 50% max health or max protection until the end of battle. When KX gains rank 3, he can no longer lose rank. Whenever KX attacks out of turn, he gains 5% max health stacking until the end of battle, and all allies gain 5% turn meter. Whenever an ISB ally uses a special ability, KX Assist. Whenever KX uses his ability, Please Do Not Resist, and has more than 3 stacks of Overcharge, he gains Foresight for 2 turns. If he has 5 stacks of Overcharge, also blind all enemies for 2 turns. Whenever ISB uses Self-Destruct, all allies gain Endure for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled. They recover 100% protection, and the cooldown of KX's ability, Please Do Not Resist, is reset. If you guys don't know what Endure is, it is what Kix does to his allies with the Omicron turn on with Commander Cody. They're immune to instant defeats, I believe. So, Sounds strong on paper. Don't know how ISB is going to perform when the map is like kind of small in TW and Grand Arena. So overall, you guys get the idea of what I'm talking about here. With the map being tiny, I don't know if they're going to be able to punch up and beat certain teams. It's all about testing and figuring it out together, but that's all the Omicrons. Now, the next slide is going to go over my personal recommendation for where you guys should rank and apply them. So I'm going to get comments about, okay, you're having a giant, bias towards Grand Arena Omicrons. And yeah, I think Grand Arena is more fun and way more valuable for your resources. You're going to see in the next slide, I'm recommending Grand Arena Omicrons first. But that doesn't necessarily mean the TW ones are bad. They are not bad. That's not what I'm getting at. So, next slide. I'm going to move me over so you guys can see the whole thing. This is the Omicron priority and my personal opinion for all of the marquee characters. First one is going to be Major Partagaz with Calibrate Your Enthusiasm. I think the extra speed is going to be phenomenal for him. Starting at rank 3 really benefits his buffs and his debuffs and all the things in his kit a lot more. So I think it's also for 5v5 and 3v3, so you're getting 2 different game modes of Grand Arena with one Omicron, so I'm a big fan of that. The second one I'm going to recommend is going to be Kleya Marki, because we want to be able to use our Saw Gerrera again in Grand Arena. And since Cassian is stealing a lot of his major assets, I think that, like Luthen, this is going to be nice to create 2 separate teams. So I don't have lately, I have always is going to be my second recommendation for Omicron. The third one is going to be for Dedra Meero. It's a 3v3 Omicron. It's only going to power up ISP even more, but it's only for 3v3, and we don't know how they're going to perform. We know how Saw Gerrera can be. He's very powerful. Systems either change or die. I think it's pretty good. She gains a lot of benefits from it, and all the enemy team's going to start with Expose, amplifying her ability. So I think that one's going to be pretty good. Now, I rank the TW ones in 4th and 5th. That doesn't mean they're bad. That means I rather prioritize GAC Omicrons, because that's my personal favorite game mode, and I think you get more out of it, and it's more fun. But the 4th one I'm going to recommend is going to be Cinta, Blooded Fearless Warrior. I think she's gaining a lot of benefits from it. You guys saw it already. A lot of wordy stuff going on there. I think it's going to be quite powerful. The 5th one is going to be for KX Security Droid. He's getting a bunch of max health stuff. He's giving Endure. He's, getting Foresight, all these different things. So it's going to be hopefully pretty strong. Maybe not super endgame, we're going to have to see. Maybe more of an earlier mid-game TW1, but all need to play it out. And the last place is going to be Vel, because it's territory battle, guys. One path, one choice. If you guys enjoy TB, be my guest. Go ahead and do it. I personally will not do it, and I cannot recommend for you guys to do it as well. But that is going to wrap up this guide for all of the Andor era, and I'm very curious about what your guys' opinion is about my recommendations. Do you guys think I'm way off? Do you guys think I have the modding completely in different aspects than what you guys thought? I think the Kleya one's going to be more interesting than I think. I think you want her to be very fast. She has the highest base speed in the game. So, again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Tomorrow is going to be the Cassian modding Omicron guide. Team comp, same exact thing, specifically for Cassian. So, I'll catch you guys for tomorrow's video, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel, guys, because we are on the road to 10,000 subs. I would really appreciate all that support. So, may the Force be with you all. Enjoy May the 4th, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.